you to Beth and the entire Benghazi tribute team for another wonderful event here today. And of course, thanks to you all for coming out and spending this part of your Sunday afternoon to honor these four fallen and to be with us to make sure that what happened there can never happen again. Thanks so much also to Roger Aronoff, who has led our Citizens Commission on Benghazi so ably these last 4 years, and looking forward so much to the new venture with the Citizens Commission on National Security. What I'd like to do with you today is to review a little bit about how Benghazi could possibly have happened, what we need to do about it right now to reverse the policies that were enacted at that time, and to make sure that something like that can never happen again. There is a document called the Presidential Security Directive 11, or PSD-11. This was the Barack Obama administration's plan to use the entirety of the United States government and its capabilities to support the overthrow of friendly allied governments across the Middle East and North Africa, and to replace them with Muslim Brotherhood regimes. Now, this document was published, I shouldn't say published, this document was written, was promulgated in August 2010. It remains classified, so I cannot say that I've ever seen it, and only those with the highest clearances have seen it. But its gist has leaked out over the years, and the general gist of PSD-11 is understood to be the empowerment of the Muslim Brotherhood, especially across North Africa, but also domestically, right here at home in the United States, and the Persian Gulf area, the Middle East heartland, if you will, was to be for the domination by Iran and the Shiites. So there you see a little bit of a trade-off. The Shiites would have the Middle East heartland, the Sunnis would get North Africa. But in any case, the idea was to change governments. The Obama administration, the Clinton Secretary of State Department, were dedicated to changing governments in these areas to give them over to Muslim Brotherhood and jihadist domination. Now, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton at the time planned to use the anticipated transformation of North Africa and the entire region to bolster President Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign for president, and also as a platform for her own plans to run for president in 2016. So governments of Ben Ali in Tunisia, Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, Hosni Mubarak in Egypt, they were far from liberal or even fairly representative democracies, but they were helping the United States and the West to battle against al-Qaeda, especially al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, that is across North Africa, in addition to which Mubarak's Egypt had helped to keep the peace with Israel for decades. Didn't matter. When the United States, behind the scenes backing, funding, training, and clandestine weapons flow from Qatar for the Libyan Muslim Brotherhood and its subordinate al-Qaeda militias during the 2011 uprising against Gaddafi, entirely predictably turned Libya into a chaotic, failed state in 2012, the year after, with heavily armed jihadis running amok across the entire country, a cover-up, as you heard both Roger Aronoff and Stephanie Jason talk about, a cover-up was the Obama-Clinton default position. Despite repeated attacks against Western interests, including our own, in Benghazi throughout 2012, repeated pleas, as Stephanie said, dozens and dozens, 100 for Benghazi alone, for more security, for our mission there, they were all refused. It wouldn't do, you see, to let Americans or the world see what a mess Libya was because of the Obama-Clinton PSD-11 policy. And so our people there were left pretty much to fend for themselves, right up to and including the night of 9/11/2012, when they were left to fight and die alone. Don't let anyone tell you that help couldn't have arrived in time to save lives and limbs. Help was never authorized. It was a deliberate decision by Obama and Clinton, enabled by Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta, the Pentagon, and every military commander who refused to speak up or resign then or since then until now. Obviously, things did not go as planned by the Obama-Clinton team. The anticipated photo ops were rather ruined by images of armed Ansar al-Sharia jihadis storming and setting our special mission compound in Benghazi aflame, murdering Ambassador Chris Stevens and Sean Smith, then assaulting the CIA Base of Operations Annex all night long, and murdering 2 more in the course of that attack by mounting a mortar attack, a final devastating mortar attack that took the lives of Ty Woods and Glenn Doherty. Since then, things have gone from bad to worse in what used to be called Libya. The country is torn by competing militias, including the Islamic State now, with a presence there. And that has established a very dangerous base of operations in Libya. And yet to date, the Trump administration has not made the decision to support General Khalifa Haftar, who is fighting against the same jihadis that the Obama team tried so hard to empower there in Libya. Nor has President Trump yet agreed to declassify and to release the contents of PSD-11, which is the first step I think necessary in the process to allow the American people to know what their government did with our taxpayer money in our name and with such catastrophic results. Speaking of catastrophic results in Libya, I want to mention one more, and I'm going to cite a recent column by the very brilliant Daniel Greenfield, who wrote a column called "How Obama Brought Back Muslim Enslavement of Black People." This is just a couple of days ago, perhaps a week. Yes, slavery, alive and well and occurring again in Libya today because of what the Obama administration did there. The Obama administration is culpable of allowing the circumstances in Libya which have brought back slavery to Libya. Now, after Obama liberated Libya for Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood, Arab Muslims sell black slaves, mainly from Nigeria, likely Christians, for a few $100s at slave auctions in Libya. You'll know, of course, that under Islamic law, slavery by Muslims of non-Muslims has never been banned. Slavery today is perfectly legal under Islamic law, under Sharia. But, just as Stephanie and Roger both said, no one from the Barack Hussein Obama administration has yet been held to account for any of this. That's our task. Most egregious of all, I think, was providing material support to terrorism. It's a criminal felony under U.S. law, which is what that arms flow from Qatar to Libyan jihadis, in fact, was material support to terrorism. It is time for the Trump administration to declassify PSD-11 as the first step in exposing the jihad arming, jihad backing, jihad funding, jihad empowering policies of the Obama-Clinton administration. Only then will we be able to begin reversing those disastrous policies put in motion with PSD-11 and get the U.S. government back on track to supporting a real counter-jihad campaign across North Africa, the Middle East, and right here at home in the United States. Thank you.